Hi lovies, welcome back to another TikTok video. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stronard and here is Belly's Stitches. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's get into today's video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok where the USA is actually wanting people not to go over Colombia in search of, true love or whatsoever they're going over there to do. He's actually referring to these passport bros that often go to, Colombia or other states in search of, love or women. They think that it's, okay for them because this has gotten a lot of people in danger, guys. I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think, and don't forget that this channel does not support any form of bullying, harassment or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes, guys. So share this video, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
US says Americans should avoid dating apps in Colombia. Here's how to keep yourself safe on dating apps in Colombia. This is true. There are women here that will drug you and rob you and worse. So don't go to their place. This is a weird thing, luring. Like don't go to their place at all. Put in the most important thing at the end, by the way. If you match with a girl and it's hard to see her face in the photos, or they have blurred tattoos, as a no-go, they're hiding themselves. If you ask for their Instagram and they tell you that they can't give you an Instagram, no. Now they're lacking social proof. Sketchy. Oh, here's a good one. If they want to come over to your place right away, they say they like to do chill things, they just want to go straight to your place and they would like to have a drink with you, don't do that. They're going to drug a drink and then boom. Front desk security. So important. Every girl that comes back has to get their cedula, their ID, scanned or a picture taken of it. Front desk security will do this, and that's what they should be doing. This is going to save you so much trouble because if they're going to be scoping you, it's going to be back at you. 90% of the time, it's going to be back at your place. If you're going to meet a girl for the first time and you want to meet her out, do it in a public place during the day. Poblado, Laureles, these are good. Those are good areas. And I've also had a good experience with Bumble. I actually liked Bumble more. And lastly, go with your gut. I mean, these are guidelines, so go with your gut. If something feels off in the encounter, don't be afraid to say, hey, no, we're not hanging out. That's it.
Tonight, an urgent warning for Americans visiting Colombia after a string of deaths in tourist hotspots. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota urging travelers not to use dating apps in the country, writing in a security alert that criminals are using the sites to lure victims, with many U.S. citizens drugged, robbed, and even killed by their Colombian dates. Embassy officials confirming the deaths of at least 8 Americans traveling in Medellin, possibly linked to the apps.
I'm out of words to describe. I don't even know how I feel right now.
A situation all too familiar for the family of 50-year-old Tu Zhang, an artist and activist from Minnesota who we first reported on last month. He had been traveling in Colombia in December when he called his brother out of the blue asking for money.
This time he was like, hey, do you have a couple of thousand? I was like, yeah, no problem. When do you want it? He said, I want it now. I'm in this bit of a situation here. I go, yeah, I can do that.
Zhang's family telling our Minneapolis affiliate soon after he stopped responding to their messages, he was found dead. A local prosecutor saying Zhang was kidnapped during a date and killed when he could not make the ransom payment, and that his body was found covered in stab wounds.
I was confused. To be honest with you, I don't know why, what the motive is.
Zhang had visited Colombia in the past, posting photos and videos to social media as recently as October with an unidentified woman.
I'm with my girl.
The embassy's alert indicated officials do not believe all 8 of the deaths are linked and said they've seen an increase in reports of incidents involving the use of online dating applications to lure victims, typically foreigners, for robbery by force or using sedatives to drug and rob individuals. Often the reports coming from major Colombian cities like Medellin, Cartagena, and Bogota. Murders of foreign visitors went up by 29% in the latter part of 2023 compared to the previous year, according to the embassy, and most of the victims were U.S. citizens. It's a popular destination for Americans who are big contributors to Colombia's tourism industry, making up nearly 30% of foreign travelers in the first half of last year. But behind that beauty, tragedy and unanswered questions for families like Zhang's, a case where no arrests have been announced, according to that local prosecutor. Loved ones are left to mourn from thousands of miles away.
And he'll draw everybody in. That's the type of people he is.
Okay. With that, Stephen Romo joins us. Stephen, so what kind of advice is the U.S. Embassy giving travelers? Because a lot of people travel to Colombia.
Yeah, a lot of people do, that's for sure. The advice actually applies to pretty much anywhere that you're dating when you find people online. A lot of it is if you meet a stranger, go to a public place. We hear that time and time again. Also, tell friends and family your plans, where you're going, details about the person, and even what app you used. This one, though, is more crime-oriented. They say don't resist physically if you are being robbed. They say people who do that, they are more likely to be killed. And also, importantly, in pretty much all situations, trust your instincts. If something feels off, just get away. But with all of these advisories and warnings out there, it might be a good idea just to put that phone down, stop swiping while you're visiting Colombia for a little while.
Good advice, Stephen Romo. All right, man, we thank you for that.
The comedian was kidnapped and murdered while on a date in Medellin, Colombia last week.
I'm not impressed. As a Colombian, we've been telling y'all so many times to stop going to Colombia for sex tourism. Honestly, I lost all empathy for passport bros. And I'm not trying to start any controversy, but I love how this dude decides to describe this man, this 50-year-old man who used to fly to Colombia just to have sex with 19, 21, and 20 years old. As an activist, as an angel, as a person who helps so many immigrants from his country in the States. I'm not denying anything he has done to the community. Good for him. But do not paint the situation as, oh, this poor American went outside and he fell in love. No, he was looking for a 20-year-old to take advantage of. He almost tripled her age, just so you know. So, no, I do not feel bad for a pervert who only went to Colombia for sexism and got murdered in the process. Now, there's bad people everywhere. But don't try to follow this propaganda about how everywhere in Latin America is dangerous and how you too can get murdered in broad daylight. And as so many Americans like to say, fuck around and find out.
Okay, TikTok, I don't know if y'all seen, but the passport bros are in deep trouble, okay? So it is all over the news that the United States is alerting men on traveling to Colombia. So basically, multiple men have went to Colombia to date or whatever, American men, and they've been robbed. And some of them have been victims of homicide. So I saw one, it was an Asian guy from like Boston or something. He was kidnapped he went to go meet a woman that he met online. He was kidnapped by her boyfriend or whatever. They called his family to get a ransom, and they got the ransom. The family sent the money, and they still killed him. And I actually knew a man in Miami here who was trying to talk to me, this older guy. He was like in his 40s, and he went to Colombia, and that man got robbed. He got robbed of all his jewelry, and he got robbed of his phone too, because I thought the man had ghosted me. And once he got back to the United States and got a new phone, he told me he got robbed. So I've been seeing people comment like, haha, like that's what they get. And I'm sorry, that's extreme. Like nobody deserves to die because they're like, that's not worth, like what they're doing is not worthy of a death sentence. I think where they're messing up is if you want to go date somebody from a different culture, that is fine. Like if you watch 90 Day Fiance, you know a lot of women do the same thing. It'd be all these white women going to get them a little Korean K-pop dude. But I think the problem is when you are doing it to exploit them, when you're making content saying, I'm going here with the intentions of getting a Colombian woman, not because I think they're beautiful and I love their culture, but because it's cheap, they're easy to please and all this stuff, that's where you're going wrong. The reason why these people don't no longer want you in their country is because y'all are exploiting them. Quite literally exploiting them and basically telling them to their face that you don't think that they're worthy or whatever, that you're only messing with them because it's cheaper for you to get one of them than an American. Because you think they're going to be your slaves and cook and clean for you and do all this other stuff. Like, them women are not charity cases. I'm sorry. So do I think, you know, they deserve to get their stuff stolen, their money stolen and all of that? Yes. Do I think they deserve to die? No. I know that every man that goes overseas, you know, is not terrible. But at this point, I would just say, if you're a man, don't go to Colombia looking to date, because your passport bros, they ruined it for you, and it's not safe. And if you are looking to date somebody outside of your culture, don't do it to try to exploit them, because these women know. Look at the internet, okay? They can see what y'all are posting.
Y'all remember the passport bros? The one that disrespect black women in America, saying they're gonna go to all these other countries and find submissive wives because black women ain't shit? Well, guess what, passport bros? Y'all are getting unalived in these other countries. 8 passport bros killed in Colombia in the past 3 months. A growing number of men are traveling to foreign countries to meet submissive women who are less expensive and not too demanding. The term passport bros first appeared on TikTok and refers to men who use dating apps for hookups with women in other countries. Authorities say at least 25 passport bros were unalived in Medellin, Colombia in 2023. 4 Americans were unalived in Medellin in November alone. This is 59-year-old Gregory Stewart Owens, who was looking for love in Colombia when he was gunned down in the streets of Cartagena during a robbery in October 2023. Owen was robbed of all his belongings, including his watch and a gold chain around his neck. Owen's family finally received his body in Tennessee 2 weeks after he was unalive. This is Johnny Jerome. He was 45 and was found dead in a jacuzzi in a luxury hotel suite in Medellin on November 2nd. He was unalived the day after celebrating his birthday with a cousin and 2 women he met on a dating app. Philip Mullins, a 32-year-old Tennessee man, was found dead in a room at the upscale 1 Million Suites Hotel in Medellin after a night out with a woman. And Minnesota comedian, I do not want to butcher his name, a high school valedictorian, was found dead on December 11th in a ravine after he had met a woman for a date. He was 45 years old and was beaten to death with a blunt object. 4 people, including a minor, were arrested and charged for his murder. On November 13th, Texas resident Jeffrey Hudson, 55 years old, was found dead in his hotel room with at least 20 stab wounds in his neck. Hudson was killed after returning to his hotel suite with an 18-year-old woman he met on a dating app in Medellin. The U.S. State Department has issued a warning to avoid using dating apps to meet women in foreign countries. Men are being warned not to book Airbnbs and hotels in isolated locations in Mexico and Colombia. And then there's Carlos, who luckily made it out alive after being drugged and robbed after going on a date with a woman from Colombia. I know there's a collective "we told you so" coming out of the black woman community. I can tell you that much. Y'all are going over there looking for submissive wives, and they are setting you up with their non-submissive men. Hey, yeah, maybe stay your asses home. Just saying. Anyway, what are you guys having for dinner? I'm having meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
This was my point right here. It might have gotten misconstrued, but it's a sad situation all around. These men died. They might have families, children. I don't know their situations. However, let's use our common sense is all I'm saying. You're going to another country where you probably don't speak the language to meet strangers off the internet you've never seen before in private places. Like, I wouldn't even do that in the States. And somebody said this in the comments: you can get got in the States. Like, you can be a lick in the States, but with your income in another country where the dollar's worth way more, you're that much more of a lick. So you've got to be safe. That's my point. We don't want to hear about more of y'all on the news because you didn't take precaution. Use your common sense, fellas. And ladies too, because I'm hearing y'all going to Jamaica to find some men and they getting green cards off y'all. Hey, listen, I gotta do some research. I'll get back to you.
Now, for me, I think there's, a couple things to be aware of, like, especially in, like, talking about places like Colombia where people say it's not necessarily safe to use dating apps there. You go on a date with her to a restaurant, maybe you speak Spanish, maybe you don't, you're just using Google Translator, and there's actually a fairly decent chance that that is someone who's trying to exploit you and take advantage of the situation. And unfortunately in Colombia, that comes down to using a drug called scopolamine, which the idea is you essentially get drugged on this date, but the thing is, it doesn't like pass you out, it just makes you very, very suggestible and easily manipulated. So what the common thing is that you go on a date with this person and they'll just slip it in your drink when you're not watching. Maybe you go to the bathroom, maybe you order a drink and they very quickly do it. Or they, even worse, I've seen where they actually are in some sort of like relationship with one of the bartenders or servers.
The passport bros have been getting unalived and set up left and right on dating apps. I decided after leaving work to dig a little further and do some research, and all of them were middle-aged men on dating apps trying to meet up with women and even were paying for women. LOL, but didn't they say they were going to get wives? Anyway, they were going over there to get women and meeting women at hotel rooms only for them to be set up and robbed by the women's partners. See, men always complain about women and women being promiscuous, but men are never mad that women are promiscuous. They are just upset that they don't have access to those promiscuous women. So since they can't access promiscuous women in the States, they go over to Colombia to try to get the same woman they bash over here, only for it to result in a bad way. I guess, what do they say? One up for the city girls? And men understand that you're not fooling anybody. Once a lame, always a lame. If you're lame in America, you're most likely going to be a lame in Colombia too. So the passport bro.
Do not use dating apps if you're visiting Colombia.
Newsflash, you shouldn't even be using dating apps in Colombia anyways. This is not the United States. We're going to build out a Hinge profile, start swiping and saying funny things. People here barely even use Tinder or Bumble. And last time I was on Tinder, people just kept soliciting me for money. So you know what kind of people you get there. But the best type of people are the people you're going to meet at social events, learning how to dance salsa, and just getting out there on the streets. If you're going to pay all the money to get all the way over here, you're going to get off those apps and you're going to start meeting people in real life, because that's how they do it here. And they should do that too in the US.
Like, seriously, lovelies, this thing is just getting scary by the day. Like, these passport bros, they often, live in USA and often go to one of all these countries, especially in Colombia, to find, love, to find, the woman they can settle with their life. Like, how would you leave your place? I know that there are so many, love stories. You can meet your love online. You can meet, your soulmate online. But we should be very careful in doing so. Like, can you imagine 8 people have been unalive at the course of going over these places in search of love, in search of women of their dreams? Like, something that you can even stay on your own. Like, you can stay wherever you are and find this kind of speck. Like, you are actually going over these places in search of this kind of women. Meanwhile, there is this kind of women you are actually going to over these places to get yourself, hurt. You have this kind of women in your area, in your place where you live. Then you leave these people, you leave these women, and in search of love over these places. And some of these passport bros, what thing about them is that when they succeed in getting this kind of women, they try to shade American women. They try to bring all this comparison, try to give the reason why they want to date outside of where they are staying or outside of USA. They try to shade American women, that they are loud, they are lazy, seriously. This have made a lot of women or a lot of men to unalive themselves, or to get hurt because you feel that there is a better one out there and you cannot use a better one that is better than the place you're coming from. Like, at the cost of this, putting your whole life at risk. What makes you feel that this person you've been chatting online or dating online is so pure? What makes you feel that this person you're charting is so better of the person than the person you are with, or the person that is around you? No, there are women all over the world. And there are women wherever you are. I know some of this online thing works. Why some of it is so dangerous? But because of this passport bros and the eager to travel to other states to go get married and all of that, a lot of passport bros are now using it as something that they like to do, because of not even thinking about the disadvantage of it. The way it has advantage, like, okay, these women, as like the way you guys say it, they are co-headed, they are women material, husband wife material, wives material, and all of that, motherhood material. They are co-headed, the people you can control and all of that. They, like, if you're thinking about how advantage all of this is, you should also think about the disadvantages of it, because these people have seen that, okay, a lot of all these American guys and all of that are interested like that. They are thirsty for this kind of women. They can just start up with something like this on a live and becoming so dubious just to teach you people a lesson. Like, seriously, I felt so bad when I heard this. This man is probably going over there thinking that, okay, he has found a soulmate. He has found somebody he want to actually spend the rest of his life with. Like, with all the thing happening online, maybe they have been talking for a long time. She has been telling him how perfect she is. And because of this, he has decided to leave the comfort of his home to go visit this person that he feels is so perfect all over there, and ended up losing his entire life because of this. Like, seriously, lovelies, we really need to think. We need to think when we want to indulge ourselves in some certain things. Like, they say that it's not everything you see online is not actually true. A lot of these people have come up with a lot of tactics to try to hurt you people. Like, if you want to date outside of where your state or interstate, you should be very, very careful. You need to be very careful. You need to be very careful, because you are trying to run away from where you are, trying to, like, okay, this women in this area is lesser, and the women over there is better off. And now what do you now prefer? Do you prefer to be with this woman you think that, oh my goodness, she's so loud, she's so this, she does not have any respect, or you prefer to be with the one that will end you? Like, seriously, when I saw this, I was so, oh my god, he's 50 years. Like, apart from him, there are 8 other victims that will beg the American government to want people to be very careful about dating apps. There are so many dating apps out there, but it's all, you just need to be very careful. Like, all the glitters are not gold. You think that this one over there is better off the one you left here? The one you left here, they said that the devil you know is actually better than the angel you think you don't know. Seriously, I just, like, I feel like I don't even know what to feel anymore. Like, seriously, I just have so this pity. I just wish his family is just okay, and oh my god. Hi guys, when are we going to learn? When are we going to learn? I know some of these people are just, some people are just laughing over it. Some people are like, oh my god, but like, let's just call a spade a spade. Enough of all this bashing women. Oh my god, this women over here is so this. Okay, there is a specific place where the women are so don't like, oh, the women. See, one thing about relationship and women is that a woman will treat you the way you treat her. If you respect a woman, if you know what a woman is, she is probably gonna respect you back. You will not expect to treat a woman so badly, or maybe try to turn her into something else she is not, and you expect an angel in return. Like, seriously, there are a lot of things happening. Like, oh my goodness, lovelies. When I saw this, I was like, what is happening? Seriously, lovelies. We really need to think about our safety first. If we are looking for the love of our life, or we want to look for this young person or this sweet 16 that we want to spend the rest of our life with, we should also think about the things that is happening. A lot of evil thing is happening in this world. The world is not safe. Like, it's not. We need to be very mindful of what we do, the kind of people we mingle ourselves with, the kind of people we talk with. There is no angel anywhere. You are the only one that can bring up someone and turn the person to an angel. Like, give the same energy you want to a woman. Give it to that woman and she will return it in good force for you. There's no point of trying to hurt yourself or trying to like endanger yourself all because you're looking for somebody that will make us happy. Seriously. Oh, please. Like, when I saw this, I was just feeling for the family. Like, the family here actually told, oh my God, I am going over this place to go meet the love of my life. I've been talking to her for a long time and you just ended up, oh gosh. Like, seriously? Anyways, lovelies, if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think. And do not forget that this channel does not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We are just here for educational purposes, guys. So please share this video, subscribe to my channel if you've not done that already, like this video, and leave your thought in the comment section. Please share to get to other passport bros to be very careful. Like, even no matter their passport bros, they need to be very careful of what they're doing. And I will see you lovelies when I upload my next video.